So, you guys ready for this? Part 3 of the best Battlefield maps of all time. Let's start with the great Zeba Tower. Zeba Tower, baby. Zeba Tower and BF3 is
okay,
easily one of the best. Look at that murder face, dude. Get this up to crazy. That was the first time you guys ever played that, so now it's not gonna get halted by YouTube. All right, thanks, man. Thank you. So yeah, Zeba Tower, man. You guys remember this from BF3? This is number 21 out of 50 for my list. You guys remember this quite well. I remember all of this. The great thing about this map, what made it one of the best, was that it fit the Battlefield 3 theme so well, because it's a high class looking penthouse kind of hotel lobby thing at the top of a skyscraper. It's clean and pristine, and the whole point of it is let's throw Battlefield onto it. All right, and let's fuck it up. Let's destroy it, right? And there's no other map in Battlefield that was so clean at the first and then so destroyed at the very end of every round. It was insane. Yeah, shotguns, the 870 was crazy overpowered, but it had a lot of verticality. It had a lot of flanking routes, which were blocked off by claymores and a lot of bullshit and a lot of crazy ass spawns. So yeah, Zeba Tower is really one of the best themed Battlefield maps ever created. It really was. And it's just full action all the time. This is a close quarters DLC that came out. There's a few others on there, but they didn't cut it, man. It just stood out the most. It couldn't get any better than this. It was nuts. All right, guys. So yeah, that was Zeba Tower at number 21 for Battlefield 3. Okay, next one is also from Battlefield 3, and this is, you guessed it, Seine Crossing. The glorious French map with tons of destruction, and the sides of buildings, the facade of the buildings could be destroyed and crumble onto your enemies. This is where you actually started to test that levolution type things, right? So yeah, this map, Seine Crossing, had some of the best flow of any Battlefield map when it comes to capping the outer objectives. There's only 4 objectives. No, 5 objectives. Yeah, there's 5 objectives for this map. It kind of like a square thing, divided by a large river. Of course, that's where the Seine River, of course. And it just had great aesthetics, great visibility. It was constant action, not too many tanks, but there were tanks there that were just, you know, they held that bridge, and you had to get them off of that to get across it, because trying to go across the river on foot was treacherous, and capping that C flag on the far right was heavily defended by jeeps, vehicles, and a lot of men. They don't make maps like this anymore. No, we need more of maps like this. More maps like this. It reminded me of Amiens. Same concept. Amiens is pretty much based off of this map, Seine Crossing. It's nearly the same when it comes to like a divided map. You know, good guys on one side, bad guys on the other. Lots of spotting, lots of good shit. But yeah, Seine Crossing is easily one of the best Battlefield maps ever made. So yeah, Seine Crossing.
You ever see the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Rox, you're the worst. I'll talk with you in a little bit. Go bye. Go away. Oh my god. He said he would be quiet too. Ruined the segment. That's okay. Actually, it'll be really funny. You ever seen this movie before? Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, there was each flag had its own memories too. A usually reminded me when the team was getting outcapped and the shit people pulled off to defend A from the uncap, people coming from the uncap. I remember that so vividly because it was super cancerous and it was impossible to get A sometimes. And that whole road right there on the right side of them, trying to go down there with vehicles, you'll just get blasted. So that's one, you know, fallout of that map. But overall, there were opportunities to flank. It's just you couldn't let them get A. It was really annoying to get that back cap under control. So yeah, freaking Sane Crossing at number 22. Hell fucking yeah. All right, next one, we're going back to 2142, and this one is pretty well known for its conquest and Titan mode. So this one's called Suez Canal. Suez Canal is a very simple map, but it had almost like a story to tell kind of thing. Even in Conquest, this is Titan mode, but in Conquest, it was a whole different story. The main objective was to get this massive complex right here under control. In Conquest, it was absolutely insane. But yeah, Suez Canal, as you can see, split by a massive bridge that you can actually walk across. It was a good flanking route for Conquest. But this one really stood out when it comes to vehicle action and helicopter, or the hover copters. Really, it really stood out as one of those heavy vehicle objectives. But as you can see, the layout is very simple. This is on a whole different engine, but there was always a lot of good infantry focus areas, like right where he's flying over. There's a big ditch right here that enemies would go through. There's a lot of those futuristic trenches that we've seen before in Minsk. But yeah, this map was little crazy sometimes, but it was always fun to play on this map in 2142. Titan mode is very memorable on this. This is what it would look like on one of those Titans. If you're a commander, this is usually where you were. But yeah, it had all these different gun seats where you can have the under barrel guns that can shoot fucking anything really that's flying in the air. There's also pod ejection areas. I don't know why this guy did this, but yeah, the pods, this whole game was built off the pod system. As you can see, that's the one, the APCs, that's enemies dropping on. They shouldn't be going onto the Titan now. Oh, actually, hold on. No, their shields are down, so they need to get onto the Titan and start blowing up the inner workings of it. But yeah, this guy's a noob. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he should be capping flags instead of sniping. Yeah, APCs were the worst to get rid of. I feel Julian J will never give a 1942 map. I can't, because I didn't play it that much, and I couldn't give you an honest review of a specific map. But anyway, Suez Canal in 2142 was one of the best, simply because of, I mean, this building here and the infantry engagements was just fucking awesome. So yeah, this is how you got onto there and actually attacked the Titan. You would go into these side missions. I really want this back in Battlefield one day. People would always put those turrets there, like, yeah, look, so they're trying to blow up the buildings. I mean, blow up the doors on the side, and then inside those are a whole bunch. It's a whole storyline. It's great fucking map. God, we need that gun in Battlefield 5, right? Anyway, that was 2142. I think that was the last 2142 I think I have on my list. So yeah, Suez Canal, Cerebri Landing, Camp Gibraltar, Tunis Harbor, Verdun, and Minsk were my 2142 picks as best map. All right, let's move on to the next one. It's in Battlefield 4. Can you guys guess it? Oh man, this one was from the China Rising DLC. The Chinese Rising DLC. This one is called Goylan Peaks, baby. This map is incredible. It can get annoying every once in a while. What are you talking? Oh, get that shit out of here. What are you doing, Agogo? Anyway, so yes. This is Goylan Peaks, Battlefield 4, baby. I'm sorry. Yes, Battlefield 4. Yes, Battlefield 4. I don't want to fuck that up. Goylan Peaks is absolutely stunning map. Huntsman, dude. Welcome in, dude. Yes. As you can tell, a lot of interesting flags, and the cave system in the middle is the craziest shit ever. And you can be in the vehicles, the small vehicles. This is what Battlefield 5 needs. These little tiny get in, get out transport vehicles. It would fix so many of the maps we had that are like Hamada. It would fix Hamada if you just had, and not just, but if it would make it better if you had more transport vehicles. Okay. But yeah, again, the best part of it was taking around those transport copters like you guys are talking about. Take them around to the outer edges, cap all the flags, and then when you feel like getting into some infantry, dude, drop right into the center where that crazy fucking flag is, right there in the middle in Delta. There's a commander asset there, so holding Delta was huge. And it just had some of the best backdrops. These mountains, we've never seen anything like this before in a Battlefield game. The China Rising DLC was one of the first that came out, and it really blew people's minds away. This guy's using a great gun, the PP2000. But yeah, Goylan Peaks is my number 24 for best Battlefield maps of all time. Just truly a special map. Everyone looked forward to it. No one left it. It was one of the good ones, and there weren't that many in China Rising DLC. This was the best one out of all, for sure, hands down. Goylan Peaks, everybody. BF4. All right, now next Battlefield 4 map is not everyone's favorite, actually. It's pretty large. It involved a lot of let's say sniper campers in the mountaintops, the snowy mountaintops. It was also a night map too. But yeah, the Huntsman, hey, thanks for the 8 months, man. Appreciate it. You think the next Battlefield will be Bad Company 3? It could be. It could be. But it can't just be Bad Company 3. The next Battlefield game cannot be just an offshoot. Like, they have to make a fully fledged Battlefield game. Otherwise, I think it might tank. So, if they're going for Bad Company 3, dude, they have to nail it. But I feel the team that's working on Bad Company 3 are the same who worked on Battlefield 5. Mega cringe, right? Mega cringe. But, yeah, anyway. So, number 25 is the most weird map we've ever seen, and it harkens back to 2142. That's Hangar 21, one of the few night maps we got in Battlefield 4. Hangar 21 is the most 2142 style map ever made in BF4. It involved the new pod system in BF4 that helped you get around. It kind of showcased why the pods were so good in 2142. So this is an homage to that game that we just showed, showing off Suez Canal in 2142. The pods were very glitchy at first. You would die a lot in them, and you can also roadkill things. You can literally catapult your pod into helicopter or a jet or whatever and get kills doing it. But that's pretty much it. Look, I mean, he used the quite well right there. This flag was very interesting, but with the tower here, this was actually really hard to cap because they would spawn on that mountaintop on the right side where it has that other satellite tower thing, or that radio tower that's over there. And this guy's pretty good. He's killing them. So this is in the hangar, which is on the face of the mountain in the back. This part was it was a little crazy because there's maybe too much verticality and it may have been too confusing for new players. But as people played the other modes instead of Conquest, people started to get the idea of like how to get around. And this also had one of the best Easter eggs missions of all time for Battlefield. This is where you would go to that specially locked room in the back of the elevator system. It had the secret elevators where you needed specific dog tags to be equipped, you know, when dog tags mattered, you know. And so you would, it's actually in that corner over there where that guy was aiming. And if you had all the requirements, you can access that specific elevator and send you to a specific room, a secret room that housed the not the freaking bow and arrow thing, the crossbow thing. So people can get that. And yeah, it was something that a lot of people participated in just because it was a new weapon. And yeah, it was nuts, absolutely crazy. So yeah, a lot of verticality. It wasn't some people's favorite map. It just I think it's the best because it had a great theme to it and it was super complex, even on one flag. Like, okay, think about it. They actually had a massive hangar for literally one flag, and it's on the top of it where you had to work your way up there. There's like 4 different levels or something. I know you can access it on foot in like a cave that goes through it, but this is like where the Titans were built. Okay, this is all that creativity and all that work went to one fucking flag. We don't have nothing like that in Battlefield 5. Not as complex as this fucking area was in the cave, or on the side and inside the mountain. This was a base inside the mountain, like an evil Bond villain's lair kind of thing. And it was a great homage to 2142. I just absolutely love this map. And you can play it however you like. You can be a infantry only and work your way up the mountains on foot if you can. Some of the flags outside, there's a flag right outside the hangar that you can cap on foot, but you have to like actually mountain goat yourself all the way up to the top. So yeah. When will we stream Doom? Game is shit. Man, shut up, Nagoko. Listen and learn. Okay, next one. Battlefield 4. It is Dragon's Teeth, the Lumpini Garden. Remember Lumpini Garden? It had one of the most interesting levolutions on there. Check this one out here. The whole water tower thing would break and cause a mudslide throughout the entire half of the map, and it would destroy like a flag and a half. I think all of Delta. If you were on Delta somewhere by that dam area, you were instantly destroyed by the mudslide, and it completely changed this whole side of the map. Like, it just fucked everything up. And yeah, you can trigger over there at the power plant area, and it destroyed like half the bridge. Yeah, it just caused a whole new set of cover, and it destroyed a whole bunch of cover. So yeah, I think it was one of the most interesting levolutions that they've ever put, where it actually changed the map. It's not something lame like Land King Dam that did absolutely nothing to change the map, but just added some rocks and destroyed like 1 or 2 buildings. Like, it was lame. This one was they put some creativity into this shit. Lots of wacky stuff for sure. Lots of detail. Yeah, like increasing the pressure, I think, to like maybe deflood the area. I don't remember what happened. It was a long time ago. Yeah, Lupini Garden, yes. Yeah. This map played very well for infantry. I don't know. This guy is doing something right. I forget what he does here. I think he's trying to trigger one of the Levolutions. I don't remember. Let's see. So yeah, this is the railway station. Reminds you of something, doesn't it? Yeah. Doesn't this remind you of a specific map in Battlefield 5? That's right. Freaking Rotterdam. Oh yeah, he looks like he is triggering the Levolution here. Yeah. He increased the pressure and blows it up again and just ruins everything. Just fucks up all that. Like, that was amazing. We've never seen anything like that. Truly one of the best Levolutions in Battlefield 4. Hands down. Hands down. But yeah, I kind of wish the Rotterdam, because this one's like Rotterdam, like this station area with the bridge and the you know, the train cars and all that, very heavily inspired from this map, Lupini Gardens. The cool thing is I love the staircases way better in Battlefield 4. I like the cover better in Battlefield 4. It was more expansive, you know. And this would blow up the bridge. There's like IEDs all over the bridge. Like, there a lot of thought was put into this map. Tons of it. And you would get some crazy kill streaks, blowing up shit that's just scattered around the map. It was good times. So this is like an easy one to put as one of the best Battlefield maps ever made. But it was ruined by many of things. Many of things. The new gadgets that they added into there, like the UCAV and the SUAV, those ruined this map significantly. Because when you spawned at A at first, you would basically put your stupid little mortar down and shoot a UCAV and just go kill people at the main base on the other side. It was the most annoying shit ever. I couldn't even get out of A flag because I kept getting ran over by those damn things, and it ruined the infantry for that. And that was based on those cancerous fucking stupid pieces of equipment that they added to the game, and it really ruined Battlefield 4 for me. Or the stupid UCAV, SUAV that ran over people. Oh, it ruined everything. And that's why I never went back to play Battlefield 4, is because of that bullshit that they added. But it doesn't mean that the map wasn't great. It was great. It was one of the best, easily. So yeah. This was, yeah, I mean, look at all the detail. Look at all this shit that was on it. It's crazy. So this one moved on actually to another map, which we'll get to right now. Actually, no, after that. That was a little teaser right there. That was a little teaser. That actually went to another map. But this one is Zavod 311, which also had a nighttime version of it. But I like the daytime version way better. But yeah, Zavod 311, number 27 on the list for BF4. Man, this was one of the most competitive maps ever made for Battlefield. It had some of the craziest infantry focused areas like in any Battlefield map we've ever played. There's a wood, like the woods here, this section. There's another like tank depot at the other end. There were two very tall buildings in the middle where people can camp or you know, post up for like spawn beacons and stuff. But holy shit, Zavod 311 had the mini copters as well. The little birds, they would run amok in this map, just destroy everybody. I remember that vividly. But yeah, it had a lot of verticality and different scenery. It felt like a factory in the middle of the woods. That's what it felt like. And at nighttime, they changed it up even more. We just had more content when they put up those night operations on there. So yeah, it was awesome, man. What's up, Chocolate? Texts are silent. He's okay. I know. What's up, Oliver? How's it going, man? Ah, yeah, the red dots. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, this is on console or something. I just wish we had the health attrition like we did in Battlefield 4 that would actually get you all the way to full health like that. See how it does that on the bottom right? Well, you can't see it. But yeah, it went from like... Oh, let me show you again. I was kind of in the way. See how the numbers kind of counting up a little bit over there? One by one, all the way. That's how it should be in Battlefield 5. All the way up to 100. Don't stop at like 80 where you can get one-shotted by a, you know, sniper or anything like that. They need to bring that back for sure. Give me a key. I need a Valorant key. Enemy soldier spotted. Yeah, so here's that other station is Tank Depot, which also had verticality, had an underground area that you can cap from. You weren't quite sure if they're atop, in the middle, or below, and this was one flag. One flag again. Lots of thought went into it, and it made things quite interesting. Every flag had its own interesting event happen at it. All right, you had the flag at the other side, which was a giant satellite radio station. All right, you had Bravo, which was another tank depot. Oh, I'm sorry, this was the radio station. F, sorry. This was the train depot here. And then you had the two flags that had rooftop access, floor access, and an underground tunnel that connected both of them. It's crazy. You also had, you know, the flanks around both sides that the tanks would use or cars would use to back cap. It would usually be pretty balanced because people would back cap quite often. I would think less of the time would be at F. Not too many people hung around at F, but there's large lines of sight going from F all the way into the forest where you can actually control it. But it had a little hill in the middle that cut off that line of sight every once in a while, so you can sneak in from Bravo, move into the forest, and then end up crossing a street here where there's a whole bunch of train tracks that give you cover, hard cover. So it had a good flow. I think it's one of the best competitive maps of all time, for sure. Zavod 311. Okay, next one, number 28. Just like this one, leaked out there. It is Sunken Dragon, the map that had, of course, yeah, you can see the little birds are crazy. You had the fountain map. You had verticality in the skyscrapers, which were on the side and towards the back flags. So totally different infantry experience. Like, little birds would go crazy on this because there's a lot of cover from the tall buildings. There's also a dam at one side that would trigger a Levolution event. And this Levolution event would pretty much flood the middle area of the map. It's actually barren at the time. So what used to be in the middle was a giant floating restaurant. Yes. So when it was dry, it would be easier to enter the restaurant, which was floating in the middle, which is also a flag. They had like three or four different stories. Damn, that was dirty roadkill. Dirty roadkill. So yeah, again, lots of creativity went into each flag point. All right, each flag point. Yes, if you guys are hopping in for a Battlefield show, what's up, Mike? Battlefield show is now on Monday. There's some work scheduling conflicts with my guests. It's going to be with Gamer Crossroads podcast founders. So we'll be talking with them on Monday, okay? So be sure to tune in at that date. But yeah, Sunken Dragon, it was one of the most unique Battlefield maps of all time. It had skyscraper action in the back. It had the fountain area, which is kind of open for vehicles, right? You had the fucking floating restaurant in the middle that had like 4 different layers, tons of like flanking routes, tons of camping areas where you can snipe from. It had the Levolution effect where it got flooded and where you'll have to swim over there and it'll be harder to get into. But yeah, this map had a lot of thought that went into it. Ain't no like Panzerstorm that has no thought at all. It's just boring. This has barns. And you fight at every flag. It feels the same at every flag. Just sadness. That's what you feel. This had action at every single map. You had the every flag, every single flag. You had the parking garage that was in a few of the other maps. Right? That's a different way of attacking on foot. You had open areas that had you know, like that fountain there. Lots of flanking routes, lots of places you needed to cover. And you had the dam. Also, a lot of verticality there as well. It just... This map beats every other map in Battlefield 5. Just when it comes to detail and scope. And it's still on the Frostbite engine. Can you believe this shit? Frostbite 3, Battlefield 4. So yeah, that was Sunken Dragon, is number 28 on my best Battlefield maps of all time. Okay? And also had some good game modes on there too. Pretty good shit. Hell yeah. For sure. I hope you guys enjoy this. We're just teaching the masses here what it used to be like. And when it comes to like the standard that DICE wants to set, the level of complexity for each map is so bad. Now you go back and you see all these maps again, you're like, why don't we have that in a World War II setting? Like, it's crazy, you know? It's crazy. So we don't want to... Battlefield 6 needs to be better than Battlefield 4. All right? They got to put more thought, more emphasis into making a theme for each map. All right? It has to stand out. It can't be generic stuff based on real... If it is based on real life areas, you have to make it interesting. Otherwise, people are going to get bored and they're just going to die from a tank from 400,000 miles away. It's boring. Stop making Battlefield maps boring. All the maps I had listed today were not even close to being boring or uninspired. There's a floating restaurant in the middle, man. What? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Next one. Another insanely popular map from BF4. And that is... You got it. Propaganda, baby. Propaganda was a pretty insane map, I must say. I would say it's more infantry focused than, you know, tanks everywhere. I think it was like 2 tanks on each side, I think. Don't quote me on that. I think there were several others, but great sniper map. A great city map with, I mean, just memorable areas to attack. It always had something interesting going for it. And this guy's really good at sniping here. Playing some aggressive sniper. Another 5 flag map. Of course, dude, the spawn beacons in this area were just insane. You really wanted to hold that area. This guy's murdering right now. Oh, baby. We don't even have that. That's why they need to go back to modern. You know what I'm saying? It will exist to compete with COD. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, Darth Skywalker. Dude. COD competed with Battlefield 5. Not Battlefield 5. Battlefield in general was always in front. They were what people followed. Okay, even with a testing environment, dude. Battlefield 5 started the whole industry trend when it comes to testing their maps in a public environment. They were the runner, the forerunners, or the leaders, I mean, of map design. Okay, so that's bullshit, dude. Not exist to compete with COD. Battlefield exists so COD can compete with it. Okay, let's get that straight. We've just fallen from grace. Okay, we just fallen from grace, and hopefully they'll make a comeback and actually make interesting fucking maps once again. But yeah, Propaganda, based in North Korea, right? I think North Korean conflict. Yeah, North Korea. And like, I think the Russians took over this area. I don't know. It was very weird. Hence the name Propaganda. But yeah, dude, this was mostly an infantry style map. 5 flags. Bravo was a nice little town, but it also had verticality with a few buildings you can snipe from. And again, it's blocked off by a wall or a train of some type, that where tanks can't just fuck you up 24/7. Okay, you had blocked lines of sight. You had blocked areas where tanks couldn't just run amok like you can in Battlefield 5. This was when, you know, map design was actually fucking good at one point. But yeah, this guy was murdering the whole time. Yeah, sniping gameplay was fun. It was a good time. But yeah, Propaganda. Freaking number 29. Okay, last one, guys. Last one. We'll go play some Battlefield 5. The most uninspired Battlefield game of all time. So yeah. I'm scared for Battlefield 6. Dude, hey, if they just look at their history and put some time and creativity into their maps, give them a theme, give them an identity, use verticality, don't go too crazy with it. You can tell in a lot of maps that where they just get a little out of hand, but that's what they need to do. Each flag needs to have a different play style to it. It can't just be the same at every flag. That's what makes it a boring map. And Panzerstorm's a great example of that. Everywhere you go in Panzerstorm, it's lame and boring. There's nothing interesting in any flags, and that happens a lot in Battlefield 5. I mean, look at Hamada. Again, every time you fight there, there's barely any cover, and it's just not working great. But yeah, this title, clickbait, do you like that? I was going to talk about that right after I went through this. But anyway, let's cover the last map that I want to talk to today in this 5-part series of best Battlefield maps of all time. This is not my opinion. It is fact. Fact. Number 4 is, you guessed it, fucking Operation Locker. The most cancerous map of all time, easily. Lockers is probably the most hated and loved map of all time. I think Metro has a slight edge to it when it comes to a grind style map. But this one was up there as one of the most popular maps of all time. And nothing came close to Lockers and fucking Operation Metro. All right, when it comes to grinding for medical points or revives or you know, getting tons of score per minute for, you know, ammo and all that, throwing grenades constantly. You can go outside, which was interesting. There's a lot of flanking routes outside, a lot of, you know, just defense going on there. But yeah, Lockers was one of the most competitive maps ever. It's still played to this day. There's 24-hour Lockers still to this day. People playing it. I don't even know how many goddamn tournaments were played on this. It was nuts. But yeah, You like it, Mad Dog? It's good. It's crazy. It's a really polarizing map, and you felt like a superhero if you're fucking good. Imagine that the throwback grenade mechanic was in this. Oh my god. Imagine the chaos. This guy's nuts. Oh my god. There's also an underground area that you can flank. If you... The Levolution event in this map was the tower in the middle of the prison. That's right. This was a prison map. This is where y'all went to jail. And the tower in the middle would get destroyed from the bottom, and it would leave a hole at the top pretty much, and it would get rid of all those criminals that were at the top defending it with the Gatling guns that were on top there. So yeah, the flanking, man, going in and out, in and out. That's what this was, lockers, and it went throughout the whole map. It wasn't just one area like we have now in Operation Underground, where it's the map ends the same every single time. No, not on this map. This map ends differently all the time, especially with people that are getting creative with the outside flanks and trying to get around, using the underground, the stairway to go around. But yeah, it was crazy. This map was absolutely nuts. Here's them outside. I've died in that hill so many different times. It was insane. Oh my god, look at that nest. Look at that nest. They can make lockers in BFI. Just imagine fighting in POW camp or something. It could work. Right? Think about, like, you just made that up, Jekyll. Like, that's a good idea. Just to start off with, you know? It's a jail. Let's do another jail map. But they went with a copy and paste of Operation Metro, and they just kind of went with that. Maybe they just ran out of time to do any type of jail or inspired jail type map. Like a gulag. Maybe a gulag? Huh? For Russian DLC? Gulag? Hello? Yeah, they ran out of time. We probably will never get that. Which number are we up to? We are on number 30. So I'll do a little recap here after this. But yeah, Operation Locker was number 30. Best Battlefield map of all time. Just pure insanity. The memories last forever for this game. It really does. It lasts forever. Again, every flag had its own creative touch to it. There's a lot of verticality in the back. There is underground action in the middle and on top of the tower, so you cover a 360 area. There's more underground tunnels in the other jail cell on the other side. There's outside snowy mountains. Like, we don't have nothing like that. If you're comparing it to Operation Underground that we have now in BF5, it's literally just a simplistic city in the back that barely has any destructible things in it. And then you have going into the underground. But how it was explained, I believe I think it was the Breakthrough. Breakthrough had some more interesting effects to it, where a V1 rocket would come in and blow up the entrance to the metro. That was an interesting part of it. But yeah, the flooding inside of underground was an interesting thing. That's why a lot of people say that maybe Operation Underground is one of the best Battlefield maps in Battlefield 5, just because of the creativity. Now, did they execute it well? Kind of not really. Especially in other game modes where it would flood at the start and it would take forever for it to recede. So it was they kind of blew it on that. But yeah, it's just I think Lockers just had so much more to it when it comes to infantry gameplay. But yeah, that was number